Good morning, friend. Welcome back to Acre Homestead. It is not even 9 a.m. and I feel like I have lived an entire day already. I just poured myself a fresh cup of coffee. We have to go run and pick up the Azure order. I've had so many different plans and options that I want to do today, but things keep changing in the very last minute. So this morning it was thundering and lightning. I've been up since 4 a.m. Normally I want my Azure pickup to be normally I want my Azure pickup to come on time so that I can plan my whole day around it. Today I was hoping, oh, maybe it'll be delayed a little bit, but of course it's on time today. So we need to run and go pick that up. It's not a huge order, but there's a couple really fun things in it that I wasn't planning to get to today. I wanted to get out in the garden and get all my pumpkins and squash and what else? Melons planted. And I wanted to get my herb garden in, but I just don't think that's gonna happen today with the weather. I got here at the perfect timing. I pulled up, not even 2 minutes later, the truck pulled up so I can help unload. We're gonna get this truck filled, and we're gonna head back home. And like I said, today has been crazy already, and it's only 9 a.m. Normally I have my days completely planned out and I know ABC, this is what I'm doing. And today I don't really know. We're just gonna go with the flow. So like I said, either we're gonna spend all day inside working on fun projects, freeze dryer, kitchen, chicken projects, maybe make some dinner, or we're gonna spend the time outside. It is overcast now, it was thunder and lightning this morning and pouring. If it's nice, I've got some plants that really need to get into the ground, so we'll just see where this day takes us. I'm sure you have days like this where you think you know what you're gonna be doing and life throws you a curveball. So it's gonna be a good day. It's going to be a good day. I've now had my second cup of coffee, which is fantastic. So let me go help unload the truck. First up, chicken food. Not only did I get a workout this morning, my blood is flowing, I feel good. We got everything in here. Now, I didn't think I ordered a lot, but clearly my trunk is completely full, so I did get quite a bit, but most of it is the same thing. Most of it's chicken food. And then this right here is something really exciting. I'm excited to share with you when we get back. This is why I wanted to spend the afternoon in the garden, is because I ordered a bunch of live plants. So I have 2 full boxes of live plants. And so when we get home, I'll share with you what I got. And hopefully we can get those into the ground today. I guess the pickup was the perfect timing because it is now pouring outside by the time I got home. So I'm glad that the pickup was not in the rain. But let me show you what I got here, and hopefully we can get to planting them today. So with Azure, you can get live plants. I got them for the first time last year and the quality was really good. So I went ahead and I picked up a few things. Well, you'll see. I got a couple things that I probably didn't totally need because I've now started them and they're growing in the grow room right now, but I didn't know that I was going to be starting those from seed. I started them from seed after I placed this order. I forgot to take it out of my cart. So a couple of these things in here are duplicates of what I've already started. Totally fine. We will plant them out. And then some of them are things that I started from seed and they never germinated. So it was kind of supplementing what did not end up working for me this year. So let's see what this first thing is. Chamomile. So I forgot to start chamomile. So this is the flower that makes chamomile tea. So I got 2 of those. So we were able to get, it looks like 8. And once I plant that one time, that will self-seed and I will never have to plant that again. I also got some Cosmos. I did start some Cosmos, but I started white ones and these are pink ones. So I'm excited to have that. And then Aster. It looks like I got some Aster and I did start some of these. I got 2 out of maybe 20 that I started to germinate, so I wanted a couple more. So This is aster. So we're gonna get those out in the garden. Okay, and this I didn't start at all. I completely forgot. So this is something I really want to get in the ground today if possible. We got some fresh dill and I got 2 packs of these. And the germination, or the, not germination rate, the cost of these starts was very affordable. So I'm glad that I got these. And then this is some, it looks like yellow zucchini. These yellow zucchinis are in some pretty small containers, so that needs to go in the ground sooner than later. I do have some yellow zucchini and some regular green zucchini that I started from seed that just now germinated over there, so I want to get those in the ground as well. And then let's see what else I ordered. I know that I ordered some more herbs, because that's kind of, oh yeah, here we go. Oh, and I forgot I ordered, alrighty. Oh my goodness, these are so cute. Okay, so these are some rhubarb plants. These were, I think, $3. So a great price, but it's going to be many, many years before I can harvest any rhubarb from these plants. You can see how cute and little those are. So I got, I think, 3 rhubarb plants. So those are going to be something that, oh no, I got 4 rhubarb plants, it looks like. Okay, 4 rhubarb plants. And then this is something I've always wanted to grow. This is comfrey. This is extremely good at becoming a living mulch. I've never grown comfrey before. It's a perennial, so once I plant it once, I will have it for years and years and years. And I can propagate it myself. So this was a really great price for this comfrey. It was, I think all of these plants were around $3, $3.95. And it says sun to partial shade, keep well watered. It grows 3 feet high, and I want to space about 18 inches apart. So I got 2 comfrey, and then I got sage. So that's good. I guess I got 2 sages, 1 stevia. I've never grown stevia before. And then 2 perennial rosemaries. Those are really little. Rosemary will get really big. We don't eat a ton of rosemary, so I'm going to put those in the landscaping, I think. And then I got 1 perennial sage. I started hundreds of sage seeds this year, and I did not get one to germinate. This is a really cute little sage plant. It will perennialize. I'll just put it in the ground, and it should come back year after year in my zone. Oh, it already smells like sage. Oh my goodness. So good. So I got 1 sage. For some reason I thought I got more than just 1 sage, but 1 sage is more than enough. So this is a really good haul, and this was very affordable, like I said, to get these starts. So I've got them out here. Maybe I'll put them on a tray and we'll get them under the grow lights. It feels like they've been nice and watered, so I don't need to water them. And I want to go put all of the, don't want to not know what those are. While it's still pouring out there, I just checked the weather. It's supposed to stop raining between 2 and 3. So if it stops raining between 2 and 3, I'll be able to get out there and get some things planted in the ground. But I do need to get all the chicken things that I purchased put away, and I want to get some dinner going. So I want to make potato salad for dinner. So I just have some of these little potatoes. I'm all out of the potatoes that I grew that are fresh. So I just purchased these potatoes at the store. These are just some mini potatoes. I think I'm going to keep them whole. I'm just going to get them washed up. There is one that I saw a little bad spot on I want to cut off. And then I'm just going to get these in a pot with some water, and I'm gonna turn these on to boil while I get going on putting some of the chicken things that I purchased away. Just so this can be cooking for me while I'm doing other things. Now we officially have dinner going. I'm gonna pull out a freezer meal, I think, to go along with dinner. And then I have some barbecue baked beans here. This would be really good with dinner tonight, but I just made these baked beans a couple days ago, and they're supposed to sit for at least 2 weeks before you open them up. So I'm not going to open them. I did take the rings off and I washed these really well. Barbecue, BBQ. And I might as well bring these downstairs since we're going to be going down there to take care of putting the chicken stuff away. I keep my chicken food and all that stuff downstairs because that's what the chickens are. I'm gonna grab a freezer meal out of the freezer. I'm just gonna grill something for dinner tonight to go along with that potato salad. Not that long ago, we made a ton of marinated recipes. And I love that because now for dinner, all I have to do is come up with a side. I'm gonna pull one of these marinated meats out of the freezer, and as it thaws, it'll marinate, and then by the time it's ready for dinner and I put it on the grill, it'll have so much yummy flavor. But now I need to decide which recipe I want to cook. We have, I think, 6 or 7 different recipes in here. And do I want chicken, pork, or beef? That is the question. I went with honey chipotle chicken thighs. I'm going to let these thaw in the sink for a little bit. And then once they're about half thawed, I'll throw them in the refrigerator. I think that will go nice with potato salad. I made this recipe with some beef and we had tacos on it, and it was so good. It's probably one of our new favorite marinades, so I'm gonna let that sit. So now, oh, you know what we should do right now before we go and take care of the chickens is get the freeze dryer cooling, because I want to get going on a freeze dry project after I take care of the chickens. I figure while I was down here and putting away the chicken feed, I might as well go ahead and fill up the girls' chicken feeder. This is a really cool chicken feeder because it can hold 60 pounds of food. So I can put one entire bag in their feeder. Now there was already a bunch of food in it, so I can't empty this bag totally, but I can fill it to the tippity top so I don't have to worry about them going hungry anytime soon. Human food we got, other than the plant starts that are going to grow into potential food for us, is I got one bag of rolled oats, and I am going to stick these oats in the freezer for at least 24 hours, but probably honestly until I get to them, just in case there's anything in them like eggs or larvae or anything like that. I want to kill it in the freezer before I put it in my buckets. Oh no, I did get a couple other things. I don't remember what they are. I have one more box of things that I got, so maybe I did get more stuff. I don't know. I don't really remember, but I did get 2, 4, 6 bags of chicken feed, which will probably last me a good 6 to 7 months. So I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put these baked beans. We'll just stick them right here. I'm really curious to see how these turn out. So probably in the next couple weeks, I will open up a jar of these and we will try them. To be honest, they look a little interesting in the jar, but I've never seen inside what a can of baked beans that you buy at the store looks like, because it's in a tin can. and you can't see what it looks like, so it might look exactly like this. I don't know. So we got that there. I feel like I'm bouncing all around today. That is just the name of the game today, and we're just gonna see how productive and how far. Oh, I know what's in that box. We're gonna go upstairs and we're gonna do the freeze dry project next, because that is in the box. I think I'm resigning myself to the fact that I am not gonna get out there and plant anything today. I keep thinking there's a glimmer of hope that I can get out there and plant, but it's pouring out there. So we're just gonna have fun in the kitchen. There is a new recipe one of my friends sent me that I want to try. It is a jam shortbread cookie bar, and I love shortbread, and I've got a lot of jam around here, so we are gonna try that too. But first we are gonna get to our freeze dry project, because that's going, and then we'll also get dinner cooked today. So for the freeze dry project, see, I don't even remember everything I got. Oh yeah, I got some beeswax cotton food wrap. I've always wanted to try this. I'm really excited about this. This is for covering bowls or things like that. Instead of using saran wrap, it is beeswax wrap, so I got that. And then this is what we need for the freeze dry project. This is Kamut, like puffed Kamut. It's a cereal. I wanted to get Cheerios. I saw someone who made these breakfast freeze-dried bars on YouTube, and I wanted to give it a try. So, oh! I didn't think the Cheerios were gonna come. I thought they were back ordered, so I left them in my cart just in case, and they came, so here we go. We've got those. So I got 3 bags of this puffed Kamut cereal, and then this is a project we might get to today because it's a perfect rainy day project. I want to sprout sunflower seeds for the chickens, because now they're in a chicken run. They're not getting a bunch of fresh greens. I thought that it would be kind of cool if I could grow them some of their own greens. So this is sunflower seeds, black oil sunflower seeds for sprouting. So we got that. And then I got some hot cocoa mix. Not to make hot cocoa, I like to put just a little bit of this in my coffee sometimes for making kind of like a mocha, but instead of making a whole mocha, I just put it in drip coffee and put a little bit of half and half in it. And this was on sale. This is the Equal Exchange Organic Hot Cocoa Mix. I do want to try to make this homemade from scratch, but I've never attempted that yet. So at some point I will do that. So let's get going on the freeze-dried project. I think these potatoes are perfect. So before we get going on the next project, I'm going to get these strained so they can start to cool so I can handle them. For these freeze-dried breakfast bars, I saw this idea from the Happy Homestead. She doesn't have a video on how to make these. I just saw the end product, and so I am going to attempt to try to do it without a formal recipe. I have freeze-dried Greek yogurt bites for my niece, and Greek yogurt does not freeze dry well. It turns into complete powder. And I didn't know that you're not supposed to freeze dry Greek yogurt because it turns into powder, but freeze drying just plain whole yogurt, supposedly, I haven't done it yet, freeze dries just fine. So on the Happy Homestead, she used silicone bar shapes. Well, I don't have silicone bar molds, but I do have these silicone muffin containers. So I think I am going to make round breakfast yogurt cereal bites. And we are going to flavor this with some raspberry homemade jam because my yogurt is completely plain. There's nothing in it. So the raspberry jam will help sweeten the yogurt, and it will also give some yummy flavor. So I don't have enough silicone molds to completely fill this tray, which is probably a good thing because if they don't turn out well, or if I don't like them, or the baby doesn't like them, he's not quite at the point yet ready to eat something like this. But if I like them, then I know that I could make them for him in the future. So I think, do I want to do, because I didn't think I could get the Cheerios, I got the sprouted, or the puffed Kamut wheat. So now I have to decide what I want to do. I think I'm going to open the the wheat because it's a smaller bag. And do I put this in first or should I put the yogurt in first? But I am going to completely fill my freeze dryer because I don't want to run my freeze dryer with just a partial tray. Ooh, this stuff smells good. That's good. I haven't had cereal like that in a long time. I think I'm going to put the yogurt in first because then I can push the cereal into the yogurt. I'm excited to do a fun freeze dry project with you. It's been a while since I've experimented with the freeze dryer. So I think I'm going to fill these cups about halfway full. Did you hear that sound? That was perfect. These are my favorite canning lids. If you haven't got your canning lids, I'd recommend you get them now before canning season is in full swing. I can link those down below. So I'm just gonna give this raspberry jam a little bit of a mix. And I'm just gonna put a little dollop in each one. And then I'll go through and I'll swirl the raspberry into the yogurt. I don't wanna get any of the yogurt into my jam. So I don't want to swirl it in between, so we're going to get jam on each one of these. Now I'm thinking maybe I filled these a little too full, but okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and swirl that in there. I am pushing the cereal in there so that it sticks. If I just left it on top, I don't know if it would all stick. To fill up the rest of these trays for the yogurt bites, I'm going to take some parchment paper and line my trays. You can purchase silicone mats that fit your freeze dryer trays, and I probably should do that. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. So I'm going to just take a second to line with parchment. I don't know if you need to do this step. I'm just doing it so that I can guarantee that my yogurt bites are going to be easy to get up off the trays. So we've got our yogurt here, and I'm going to add some raspberry jam to it, and I'm just going to do a gentle swirl. Maybe add like it's probably more like 3 tablespoons, and I'm just going to gently swirl that in there. Last time I did this, I used a Ziploc bag to pipe on, but I think with just regular yogurt, I could just dollop it with a spoon because it's not as thick. Yeah, that's working really well. My sister had asked me to make yogurt bites for my niece when I first got my freeze dryer, and that's when I made it with the Greek yogurt, and we realized that was an epic fail, and I haven't made them for her since. And I thought that this would be a perfect time to give this a try. Well, that was really, really easy. So I'm gonna put this rest of this yogurt in my fridge. Generally, that is how I sweeten my yogurt. I always buy plain yogurt so that I can sweeten it however I want, and I typically use jam. So this is probably the perfect amount of jam we need to make our jam cookie bars, but our freeze dryer should be ready for us to stick these trays right into the freeze dryer. If these yogurt bites turn out well, it would probably be good to do all of them in these silicone containers, because I definitely could get more in the freeze dryer just because of how tall they are. I'm maximizing my space. So we're gonna get those in there and shut the door. Push continue. The freeze dryer is gonna freeze the yogurt and then it's gonna freeze dry it. I do need to make sure that this valve is closed. Perfect. And while I'm standing here, there's another project that I wanted to do in my dehydrators. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some dehydrator trays, and we're gonna run inside and we're gonna do another project. Since we've got the freeze dryer going, we might as well have the dehydrator going too. So you all know I like to make my own vanilla. And I reuse my vanilla beans at least twice before I call them done. And I thought that this time what I should do is so this has been going, I mean, this jar has probably been going for 2 years and it's almost empty. So I'm gonna take this jug and pour it into this other one. And I've got probably 30 vanilla beans. In this container. I'm looking for a funnel. Here it is. And I don't really want those vanilla beans to go to waste because I feel like they still have a little bit more life in them. So I'm gonna pour any of the vanilla extract into this jar. So I just have one going, which means I probably should go and start a new one just so that I always have 2 going. Because you really do want your vanilla extract to sit for a good, I'd say 6 months before you end up calling it good. So I had this thought. If any of you have watched Ina Gartner, she is probably my biggest cooking inspiration. She always makes and has in her pantry vanilla sugar. And I've never made vanilla sugar before. And I thought, wouldn't it be perfect to use these spent vanilla beans? Because they have all the seeds and everything in it and they still smell incredible. What if I dehydrate the vanilla pods and then I take these dehydrated vanilla pods and I stick them in sugar? I did do an experiment. I forgot I did this. It's probably spoiled. So I took some of those vanilla beans, I stuck them in this jar with some sugar before I dehydrated them because I wanted to just see if you could do that and what would happen, if it would spoil the sugar or not. It smells really good and it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, let me show you. Oh my goodness, it smells fantastic. It's so, so pretty. I don't know if you can see, but in that white sugar, well, it's actually organic cane sugar, so it's a little bit brown, but there are tons and tons of little speckles, which are the vanilla beans themselves, the actual seeds. I was thinking this would be so good to make snickerdoodles out of this, and instead of rolling your snickerdoodle dough in cinnamon sugar, rolling it in vanilla sugar. But I don't want to use all these vanilla beans and not dehydrate them and put them in sugar because I just have a feeling the quality is going to be a lot better if I take the time to dehydrate these vanilla beans. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these vanilla beans out of this jar and I'm going to line them on my dehydrator and we're going to get these in the dehydrator. And then once they're dehydrated, I will put them in a jar with a bunch of sugar and I will probably scrape out the vanilla beans because there's so many vanilla beans still in these pods. I do want to taste the sugar that has the vanilla beans in it. That is incredible. It's not spoiled at all. All I taste is a very beautiful vanilla clean flavor. This just might be a baker's secret ingredient. I grabbed out 3 trays, but it only took 1 to fill. Let's get this in the dehydrator. I'm gonna do this probably at a lower temperature, I think. I'm going to dehydrate this at about 100 degrees. I think that's gonna be plenty for this. And I'm just gonna let this go. I'm gonna set it for 24 hours. If it's done before that, awesome. If it takes longer, I'll just set it for more. But I'll just check on it as I check on the freeze dry project. So this is so awesome. I did not know that I was gonna get to this today. So that's another thing checked off the list. Now I need to decide if I should bake those shortbread cookie bars or if I should make the potato salad for dinner. I know I'm gonna make the potato salad for dinner because that's what we're having for dinner, and I already cooked the potatoes. But I want to make the jam cookie bars. I also could put away the rest of my grocery haul that's sitting around here that I have not put away yet, but that sounds like the least fun thing to do, but definitely one of the most necessary things to do. Let's go ahead and get the cookie bars baked. They only have, I think, like 5 ingredients. I've never made this recipe before. I can link it down below, but one of my friends shared this recipe with me yesterday, and I thought this would be good. So while the cookie bars are baking, I will make the potato salad for dinner, and I will put away the rest of this order so that I can have my kitchen clean again. We need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And if you saw the time on the clock, it's only 12:30, and I feel like we've gotten a lot done today, even though I've had to take a lot of breaks and, you know, kind of maneuver this day. This day has been a roller coaster of a day, but it's been a good day, and I'm glad you're here along the journey with me. I'm looking up that recipe now. I don't know if you ever have those days where you're just going with the flow and life's throwing you curveballs and you're dodging them. And by the end of the day, I'm gonna be tired, it's gonna be a good day, and I'm probably gonna sleep really well tonight. My friend Jessica from Modern Homestead, Alaska, she's the one that shared this recipe with me yesterday, and she sent it to me on Instagram, so I've got to pull up this recipe. It looks so easy. It only has, going down to the recipe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients. My kind of recipe. First ingredient is 1 cup of butter. This recipe calls for a ½ cup of sugar and then a teaspoon of vanilla, and I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and use the vanilla sugar for the first time today. So I'm scooping around the vanilla beans because I don't want a vanilla bean in our cookies or our cookie bar. There is going to be a little bit of moisture in the sugar because there was moisture in the vanilla beans when I put them in the sugar, but I'm not going to add the teaspoon of vanilla like this recipe calls for, so hopefully that will be an okay substitution. I did add some flaky salt. I am using a really high quality butter because shortbread has such few ingredients. You can really taste the butter you add. So I thought I would go ahead and add a really nice quality one. And then 2 cups of flour. The recipe says this is going to be really dry. We're going to mix that together. Okay, that looks good. I'm glad the recipe said it was going to be dry because this is definitely dry. We're going to take 1/3 the mixture and put it in the bottom of this baking dish. That's probably about, excuse me, 2/3 the mixture. That's probably about right. This recipe calls for raspberry jam, but I'm sure you could substitute any kind of jam you like, any jam you have on hand. Supposed to put 3/4 of a cup, which is probably about that much. Maybe I'll put a little bit more. I'm just eyeballing that. This was a pint jar, and I had about half of it left. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and use the rest of it because I have hardly anything left in there. And then we're going to sprinkle this on top. I probably could have put a little bit more on the bottom so that more jam was peeking through, but I think that this is going to be just fine. I wish you could see all those little black speckles. I think it's probably hard for you to see the little black speckles, but it's definitely adding a really beautiful element to these cookie bars. The oven is just preheated now. So these are gonna take some time to bake. So I'm gonna get them in the oven, and now we can get going on our our potato salad. Speaking of Ina Gartner, this is her potato salad recipe and it's my absolute favorite. I love her style of cooking because she is all about using really high quality ingredients and letting those high quality ingredients shine in the recipes. And I just really like her style because it's simple yet really delicious food. Okay, I'm gonna get this cleaned up here. My dishwasher is not unloaded. I ran it this morning and I still need to unload it. I'll go ahead and kind of clean up some of this mess though here. And this is quite an accomplishment. So this is a red onion that I just purchased at the store. That is the first onion I have bought since last August. I purchased, I think it was 140 pounds of onions. A lot of you were worried that I bought way too many onions and didn't think I'd be able to go through them. Well, I've gone through all of them except for maybe, I think I have maybe like 8 or 9 white onions left. Well, my oven is technically now preheated. And I needed a red onion for this potato salad, so I purchased some red onions. But hopefully this year, I will grow enough red onions and yellow onions myself, and I won't have to purchase them from a local farmer. But if I do, I'm gonna do the same thing again because it's been so nice. Every single time I've used a red onion or a white onion or an onion this year, I know exactly who grew it, I know exactly where it was grown, and I think that's pretty cool. So I think I only need half this onion. I am gonna have to pull up the recipe. I do have some celery in the fridge I need to get out. These are my new knives, and friends, I have shared with them just I think once or twice with you before, but they are a Japanese brand. They are my new favorite. You can see how sharp they are. I barely have to put any pressure. And one thing I like about these knives, as opposed to the other knives that I got as a wedding gift, which I still like those knives, those are really good knives as well, is there's this beautiful curve right here. So when I put my fingers on the knife, which this is where you're supposed to hold a knife, you're not supposed to hold it back here. You're supposed to put your index finger and your thumb on the actual blade, and then the rest of your hand grips around it. That's a really comfortable spot for my hand versus this knife. I love this knife, and you see me use this knife all the time, but there is a really sharp angle right here. And so it's not quite as comfortable in my hand. It is still very comfortable. This is a Cutco knife that was a gift, and I love this knife. I think it's stunning. And it is really sharp as well, but it doesn't quite have the same feel as this one where my 2 fingers rest. But this is a really nice knife too. I do have a discount code for these knives if you are interested in them. I can link them down below. You can just see how it cuts through it like absolutely nothing. I just walked out into the grow room to grab some dill for the potato salad. That is one of the secret ingredients to this recipe, is fresh dill. And I don't have very much of it. I'm just gonna take these outer leaves. I need a half a cup, which clearly I don't have a half a cup here, but we'll just take what we can without damaging the plant. Oh my goodness, it already smells so good just from pinching the leaves. And when I walked in here, the smell of vanilla hit me. Woo! It is so strong in here. It smells wonderful. And how it smells like dill too. It looks like the freeze dryer is still freezing. We're gonna get this salad put together. So I have maybe a tablespoon of fresh dill, which is better than none. I'm not gonna run to the store just to get the fresh dill for this. We're gonna make the dressing in the bowl and then we'll put all of our veggies in here. The first thing we need, which I think most potato salads start with, and that is a good amount of mayonnaise. And then to thin this out a little bit, I'm gonna put some buttermilk. I don't always have buttermilk on hand, so sometimes I just use milk with a little bit. Oh, that's our cookie bars. I just use a little regular milk with sour cream. And then I just put some grainy mustard in. And then it needs some salt and pepper. I do want to get these cookie bars out of the oven. Oh yeah, they're perfectly golden. I cooked these for 25 minutes. The recipe said anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. I checked them at 20 and they weren't quite browned enough. So I put them in for another 5. I'm glad I'm making this early in the day because I do think that potato salad does taste better if it can sit for a little while. And so this will give it a few hours to kind of chill in the refrigerator. Before I serve it up for dinner, I will give it a final taste test because the flavors do kind of change a little bit as it sits to see if it needs any more salt or pepper. That is so good. I haven't made potato salad since last summer, and that is fantastic. That's gonna go really well with our grilled chicken. I'm pulling out our beeswax wrap because I'm going to cover. It smells really good. It smells like beeswax. My potato salad with this, and then we'll get this in the fridge and we'll let this just hang out until it's dinner time. Supposed to kind of use your hands, the heat of your hands, to kind of warm up the beeswax so it sticks really well. That's cool. Now that we have dinner basically done, I just need to grill the chicken. I don't think I'm going to do any other sides or anything tonight for dinner because I don't think I have it in me. I want to get this counter clean because it's a disaster. And then we'll run out and we are going to start sprouting some sunflower seeds. And here we go. Let's get this kitchen cleaned up and the rest of the Azure pickup put away. So I do end up putting away the Kamut cereal, which is really good, and those Cheerios away. And then I want to get the counters nice and clean so that when it's dinner time, the kitchen is put back together before we go into the grow room to do some fun things out there for the afternoon. So this is that cocoa mix. I am putting it into some jars and I will get these put into the pantry. I do end up reusing, this is a little tub that I purchased at Trader Joe's that had some chai mix in it, and I put just some of the cocoa mix in there, and I'm gonna put that next to my coffee pot.
And so on the mornings that I just need a little something extra special, I maybe put about a teaspoon or so in my coffee just so I can get a little bit of the chocolatey flavor. And I do have a homemade chocolate sauce recipe that I will make sometimes, and I will put that in my coffee in the mornings. But I saw that on sale and I just, easy peasy, I put that in my cart and now I have that on days I want a little extra something in my coffee. So now I'm going to get the dishwasher unloaded and loaded, and I do end up putting away my electric pressure canner as well.
We did it. We have dinner basically done. I just need to grill the chicken. It's still basically frozen, so it's still missing. I'll put it in the fridge in probably an hour or so. But the side is done, dessert is done, kitchen is clean. I was not expecting to get this far today. I even got the dishes hand washed, which is awesome. And now I think we're gonna go into the grow room and have some fun with these black sunflower seeds and do some sprouting. What does it say? Okay, it does have the directions on the back of here. So let's go get this done. This is gonna be fun. We are not going to get to planting the herb garden out today. I'm going to have to, let's see, let me look at the weather. Every single day I check the weather. Oh, you know what? It says after 4 o'clock it's not supposed to rain. So maybe I'll go out there tonight and do that. Maybe that's something I will do tonight. But it's not anything I'm gonna do right now. Right now I'm gonna go play in the dirt though with these sunflower seeds.
My girls are in the chicken run, so they don't have as much access to fresh greens, and so that's why I want to experiment growing some fresh greens for them. So I put a layer of potting mix in the bottom of this tray, and then I'm going to sprinkle these sunflower seeds pretty heavily on the bottom of this tray, and then I'm going to get it watered in really well. Once I get it watered in, I am going to put another tray on top of it and weigh it down, and I'm going to put it on a shelf to grow. So this is one experiment here. I do take another tray and I put some sunflower seeds on another tray without any potting mix, and I want to do a side-by-side comparison to see if it grows better with potting mix or if it grows better without potting mix. So I'm just putting another heavy layer on this tray. I'm going to water this in, put a tray on it, and put it on the shelf and see if anything grows.
This is going to be fun to see which one works better, the one with soil, the one without soil, and this is total an experiment here. So I'm going to check this every single day. As soon as I see them sprouting, I will take the tray off the top, I will turn the lights on, and I will let them grow until they're about this tall. So this is not for human consumption, so I'm not worried about using these dirty trays or anything like that because I'm not making microgreens for Josh and I to eat. This is purely for the chickens. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm really excited about doing something kind of fun. We have so many fun projects that we were able to get to today. Today was a great day. It's only 2 o'clock, so I still have a ton of the day left. I think what I'm gonna do is probably sit down and do some of my computer work that I need to do. And then maybe if it stops raining, I will go out and I will try to plant an herb garden, but we'll see, time will tell. I wanna try these cookie bars though real quick with you. I'm just gonna cut a little, ooh, they're still pretty soft, so they probably need to cool all the way before you should really cut into them. I'm sure they're gonna taste just fine though, even though they are falling apart a little bit. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get a little spoon. I love shortbread. I love shortbread. Yeah, I think these will firm up really nicely once they're cool. They're still very, very warm. The butter basically needs to come back to at least room temperature. That is fabulous. The perfect amount of salt and sweet, buttery, raspberry, perfect. Thank you for hanging out with me today as we twisted and turned and just got things done. We got all the bulk stuff put away, the chicken food. We started a couple experiments and we got dinner done. So, well, I still have to grill. I'm gonna show you what that looks like with that. It's the honey chipotle chicken. It's gonna be so good, I'm sure, because that marinade on the beef was so good. And I think that will go really well with a creamy potato salad for dinner tonight. So I'll show you what that looks like coming off the grill and how dinner kind of comes together in a matter of just a couple minutes. I love cooking on the grill because it's just, I feel like it reduces the amount of dishes because I don't need to, you know, get a pan dirty or anything like that. I just turn the grill on, and the grill, I don't have to clean the grill. I do clean the grill between uses, but I don't have to come in and like scrub it with soap and water or anything like that. I just burn everything off. So if you're interested in either Ina Gardner's potato salad recipe or those shortbread jam bars, I can link those recipes down below so you can go try them yourself if you want to. Oh, and I can link the honey chipotle chicken down there too if you want. I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It was a good day. It was a crazy day. I do need to get some computer work done, but I probably will sit down and maybe have a cup of tea. It looks like tea weather out there right now. So just thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. If you are new around here, please consider subscribing because I will share with you how the seed starting, the sunflower seeds go for the chickens. I will share with you how the vanilla experiment goes and how the freeze dryer experiment goes. I'm really looking forward to that as well. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, friend.